And off we go. After Genji finished taking his late meal, he went out to do the nighttime rounds inside the mansion. He reheated the soup that Goda had started making and ate some random leftovers from the refrigerator.
Genji, what are you doing?
They were all things Goda had made himself and were, of course, delicious. He had half-heartedly gone to ask Rosa and the others what they would do for dinner, but he had been yelled at by a voice telling him that they had canned food, so they were fine, and the door wasn't even open for him. So, ironically, it was the servant Genji who was able to eat the more delicious meal. But even though all of those crimes had been committed and many people had already met a brutal end, why was it that Genji wasn't afraid to do the rounds all by himself? Judging by his appearance as he carried out his normal tasks without a trace of fear, as though everything was normal. You might think that of all the horrible events that had happened today were just a dream or an illusion. Was he taking a philosophic view, or was it simply resignation? Genji must have considered it a virtue to systematically carry out his duty until the last moment, since the fate that awaited him was unavoidable. It would probably be eternally impossible to perceive the depths of his heart unless he told of it himself. Because he had given the master key back to Rosa, the places he could go were extremely limited. All he could do was walk around the hallways, checking to make sure that the windows were closed. So he was able to go around that route far more quickly than usual. Mug.
Oh, no.
After the sound of a moderate knock, Auntie Rosa... Oh, they did it again.
What?
They took us away from what Genji saw.
He saw Kinza's
away
body.
From the action.
Kinza's body, probably.
You think so?
Or cannons.
Or Kumasawa or Nanjo.
That's true. We haven't seen Kinzo in forever. Where the heck is he?
Just drinking. He's just getting boozed up in his study. After the sound of a moderate knock, Auntie Rosa, who had been falling into a doze shortly before, jumped up and woke up, pointing the barrel of the gun at the door as she yelled. I was napping on a sofa, and that voice also brought me back to reality.
Rosa-sama, Genji de gozaimasu.
何か用なの？扉は開けなくて結構よ。そのままで話して。
はい。それではこのままで失礼させていただきます。南條先生と熊沢の遺体を見つけました。
Ah.
It's kind of what I figured.
なんだって。
そう。わかったわ。確認に行きましょう。死体を見ない限り、私は誰も信じない。
He leads them out there. The bodies are gone again.
Sorry, guys. Don't know what happened.
大丈夫だよ、バトラー。マリアといれば絶対に大丈夫。
He really should have dragged them with him.
Yeah. Maybe my face was shadowed with anxiety. Maria grasped my hand with her small hand and spoke softly, trying to bring me courage. Since it was Auntie Rosa's job to ready the gun and stand guard, it fell to me to remove the barricade of sofas. When I finished, I took a backward glance at Auntie Rosa, who was pointing the barrel of the gun over my shoulder, and opened the door.
ケンジさん、二人の死体はどこに？
中庭です。ご案内いたします。
バトラ君待って。
How'd they get in the courtyard?
部屋の戸締まりを確認していく。
Good question.
Who would have brought them in the courtyard? Anyways.
Auntie Rosa called me to a halt to prevent me from going on ahead and began to carefully check the locks on each of the windows. But those locks had already been checked once. It felt kind of unpleasant, as though she suspected that I might have secretly unlocked them when she wasn't looking. No, maybe she was right to be this cautious. Even though it was called a courtyard, it wasn't really a pretty place you could take a walk like in the Rose Garden. On the contrary, since it was surrounded by the mansion on all sides, it made you feel a little discomfort, as though it was telling you that you couldn't escape from the mansion even if you tried to escape to the outside. On the other hand, thanks to that, even though the violent winds could be heard, the wind itself was blocked. Genji-san held out an umbrella, but Auntie Rosa ignored him. She probably wanted to say that the gun took 2 hands, so taking the umbrella would be dangerous because she wouldn't be able to fire the gun. Didn't the boiler room have an outside door that led to the courtyard?
I think so.
That's like the last time we've been in this setting.
Yes.
Even without Genji-san pointing his finger, we could tell immediately. Right in the center of the courtyard, we could see where Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san lay. Auntie Rosa entered the courtyard without even an umbrella. So Genji-san and I also entered the courtyard without opening one. Only Maria had one open like normal.
マリア、これはあれだな。
おお、第7の番と第8の番だね。
Oh. Here we go. Where are we? Kumasawa Chiyo, her corpse, which had gone missing, was later found in the courtyard, and at that time was found with a weapon shaped like a stake having been rammed into the ankle.
That finishes up the 8th Twilight as well.
His corpse, Nanjo Terumasa, his corpse, which had gone missing, was later found in the courtyard. At that time, it was found with a weapon like a stake having been rammed into the knee.
That finishes up the 7th Twilight.
なるほど。確かに源氏さんたちが言っていたように、二人の首にはひどい傷があるわね。すごく鋭利な、まるで日本刀か何かで切ったかのようにすっぱりね。
That gaping wound on their necks definitely made me want to avert my eyes. But after seeing the Halloween party in the chapel, even though I thought it was horrible, it was no longer enough to make me feel sick. Instead, our gazes were directed to their legs, in Dr. Nanjo's knee, in Kumasawa-san's ankle. Driven into each of them was something like a knife or a stake with a demonic decoration. They would surely be the same as the one that had pierced Jessica's back.
これは何なの？ジェシカちゃんの時と同じね。何かオカルトの儀式のつもり。
わかりません。彼らの遺体を最後に見た時にはこの使用人室から運び出された後にやられたのでしょう。
The one that had been stuck into Dr. Nanjo's knee was still standing erect, but the one that had been thrust into Kumasawa-san's ankle might have been a little shallower. It had come out and fallen over. So it was only when I saw that one that had fallen over that for the first time I realized that it wasn't a knife, but something like a stake. Its full length was probably about 30 centimeters. It was probably made out of bronze or iron or something of the sort. Even without touching it, I could tell that it had some weight to it. It was composed of a grip and a cone-shaped part, and it was obviously made to be a piercing weapon. Maybe you could describe it like a miniature version of those lances Western knights used on horseback. The grooves that had been carved in a spiral shape made it also look like a drill. Tengen Top, Gurren Lagann! However, the grip had an occult-like design of a demon or something. So instead of a weapon used in war, it felt like something that would be used in a ritual to offer up a sacrifice.
間違いない。
Believe in the battle.
Wait, can I see something quick?
Yeah.
6th and 7th Twilight, or that was 7th and 8th Twilight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tips.
Epitaph?
7th and 8th.
Gouge the knee and gouge the leg.
On the 9th, which revives, and none shall be left alive. So that means...
We're coming to the end.
Look at this. 4th, gouge the head. 5th, gouge the chest. 6th, gouge the stomach. Who were those people?
We don't know where
We just saw 6th and 7th.
Kumasawa and Nanjo are 7th and 8th.
We just saw 7th and 8th, which means they were the last two people to have died.
Were Shannon and George.
And Goda?
We didn't see where they were stabbed.
Shannon, Gorge, and Goda would be 4, 5, and 6, which means Kumasawa and Nanjo died after those three, right?
Yeah, because I mean they were killed before Goda, George, and Shannon, but they weren't mutilated.
Or
until...
can we be sure they were actually even dead? Wait, Nanjo said they were dead, right? You checked their pulses.
Yeah.
Alright.
He did.
Alright.
So, I mean, I'm inclined to believe him, but
Well, he's the
could have
culprit.
made a mistake, or he's an accomplice.
Nanjo is Nanju's the killer. I've been saying it this entire time.
There's no mistake.
生贄の罪なんだな。
第7の番に膝をえぐりて殺せ。
It's interesting that the mutilation part is first in the epitaph, because I feel like a lot of times the mutilation has happened after they've been killed.
I agree.
So it's interesting that the kind of what you were saying earlier, like it's the order of things that we kind of need to take a look at.
第8の番に足をえぐりて殺せ。
待てよ。それじゃ第4、5、6の番が抜けちまう。
Yep, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
まさか。
That's right. Why is Genji-san alone?
Oh no.
If something like this had happened, why wouldn't George Aniki, Goto-san, or Shannon-chan be here? Why was Genji-san alone?
どういうこと？ジョージ君たち3人はどこへ行ったの？
夏日奥様のお部屋を探し物に行きたいと言われましてまだお戻りになりません。
なんだって。その出かけたってのはいつ頃の話なんだよ。
2、3時間前のことだと思います。
Damn.
そんななんでそんな大事なことをやっちゃなくてなんで不審に思わなかったんだよ。
常に一人使用人は待機していなくてはなりません。彼らが戻るまで待機しているのが
Was Genji-san really this much of a robot? This is bad. This is bad. It's really bad. No shit. The fact that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san had been killed in this way meant that 3 people had already been killed. We ran towards Aunt Natsuki's room, with a touch of anxiety and just as much resignation. Before we even saw the inside of Aunt Natsuki's room, we were imprisoned by a certain resignation. They've been using resignation a lot.
They have.
On that door was bizarre graffiti. No, filth?
Oh no.
Gore? In any case, the door wasn't in a normal state, and we were able to imagine what was inside that room without opening it. On the face of the door, how should I say it? Someone had heavily painted their hands with the same red paint that the magic circles from before had been drawn with, and had banged on the door, scratched it, and dirtied it. It was dirtied like the aftermath of a kindergartner playing in the mud. I didn't know what it could mean. The bright red paint that had been slathered on was dripping down, and even though no one said it, it made us think of blood.
ゲンジさん、開けてください。
Auntie Rosa held her gun up high and ordered Genji-san to open it. Genji-san approached the door without being particularly troubled by that stuff on it, and turned the knob. But he immediately turned around, shaking his head. It was locked. Oh!
Another locked room.
Ah! Right now, there was only one person in this mansion who could lock and unlock doors at will, Auntie Rosa. This time, Genji-san asked Auntie Rosa to unlock the door instead of the other way around. After making a slightly disgruntled face, Auntie Rosa handed me a master key and told me to open the
バト
door.
ラ君、これで開けてもらえる？
そのくらいのことケンジさんを信用しても
Auntie Rosa glared at me with an intense gaze. Getting into a fight here would only make the environment turn even more sour. Without talking back anymore, I approached that creepy door and tried the knob. It didn't open. It was definitely the resistance of the lock. I stuck the master key into the keyhole. Clunk. A light resistance. While listening to Auntie Rosa, she told me to be cautious. I opened the door without being particularly cautious at all. And there was the scene, laid out before us, not betraying our expectations in the slightest.
ひどい。
やっぱり第4、5、6の番の再現だったな。
おお。
The inside of the room looked as though a robber had just broken in. Drawers were flung open, pulled out, with their contents thrown all over the floor. The room was devastated. The room devastated so that it looked nothing like the room of the methodical Aunt Natsuki. But the thing that caught the eye before that was Goto-san's body lying face down right in front of the door. One of those demon stakes had been rammed right into the center of his chest, almost as though it had been stuck there to finish off a vampire. Exactly how far would it have reached after being stuck that deeply into his chest? My own chest hurt just imagining it.
胸をえぐれば第5の番だったが。
Maria grabbed my hand. Her expression looked just like normal, but maybe she really was afraid of the aura in this room where the 3 bodies lay. And along the wall farthest into the room, George Aniki was dead. This time, one of those stakes had been rammed right in the center of his stomach. Gouging the stomach was the 6th twilight, I think. Shannon Chan's body was face down over the front of the dresser, lying in a sea of blood. Oh, Shannon, no. In its horribly broken mirror, sprayed with blood, had she seen her final worldly expression? Because she was face down, I couldn't see her face, but I could imagine, even without seeing it. Nearby, in the sea of blood she lay in, a demon stake had fallen. Only the 4th twilight was left. Gouge the head and kill. Maybe my heart was completely tired out and dead. Even though I knew what I was doing was wrong, I lifted her head and checked, and confirmed that my guess was right on the mark. It all seems so out of order, though.
I agree.
Because Goto was the first one to die, but he's the last one in the order of the epitaph.
This is what I mean. It's all weird. Because Nanjo... What order did Nanjo and Kumasawa die in, too?
I mean, I think Kumasawa died first, and then Nanjo died.
You think Kumasawa died first, and then Nanjo died?
I believe so.
Which means Kumasawa should be 7. But she's 8.
Yeah.
So, then it's all listed in backwards order.
I don't like that. I do not like that at all.
What is that trying to say?
Does that mean that she can twist the order of the epitaph to her liking?
I don't know, maybe. That's...
Yeah. I mean, if she can do that, that's kind of... Jeez. Alright, wow. There was a gaping hole in Shannon Chan's forehead, and her insides were dripping out. Not only that, you could even see inside her. After seeing that, I finally noticed that what I was doing was wrong. I immediately averted my eyes, but by now, it was probably pointless.
こらバトラ君、警察が来るまでそっとしておかないとダメよ。勝手に触ってどういうつもり？せっかくの現場証拠がおかしくなっちゃったらどうするのよ。
Auntie Rosa yelled furiously at me and even yanked the back of my collar. I tottered limply and fell on my butt and gazed dimly over the ceiling.
Maria. And it's just Rosa, Battler, Maria,
And Genji.
and Kinzo.
And Kinzo. Yeah, we don't know where Kinzo
We
is,
haven't
but
seen
he's
him.
still alive.
And he's
because
not in the
he's not part of
incinerator.
Yeah.
第9の
he's
なんだったっけ
he's not being cooked currently.
Mm-hmm.
Flavored with mackerel. I'm sure that's a delicacy, right? Cooked Kinzo with mackerel sauce.
Oh, Jesus.
Now even the 8th twilight is over. What was the 9th twilight again?
第9の晩に魔女はよみがえり
That was the one.
誰も生き残れはしない。
そっか
Suka.
これで黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェは復活するんだな。そしてなんだ最後の第10の晩。
第10の晩に旅は終わり黄金の里に至るだろう。黄金鏡の扉は もうすぐ開かれるんだよ。もうすぐ。
魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしないか。俺たちはこれから死ぬのか、それともこれで生贄の儀式は終了で俺たちの旅は終わり、黄金鏡へたどり着けるのか。何が俺たちの旅だ。俺たちは今日一日犯人を見つけよう、事態を打開しようと散々頭をひねって何も至れなかった。バカの考え休むに似たりってやつだ。
Interesting.
そうさ、俺たちは今日一日ずっと憎悪と疑心暗鬼で自分を焼き焦がした。死んだ人間しか信用できないって言ってわざわざ3人の死に顔をここまで確認に来たんだぞ。こんな俺たちがどうして黄金鏡とやらにたどり着けるっていう。
That's right. If nothing could be solved, it would have been much better if we had locked ourselves up the whole time without thinking at all. Grandfather was the wisest of us.
Is he even still alive? We haven't even seen him.
Who knows, man?
He could have just died from old age or something.
He had fallen over from alcohol poisoning.
He was apparently 3 months past his date of expiration anyways.
Yeah, his expiration date. That's funny. He's been shut up in his room since yesterday without any contact with anyone. That would have been fine. Grandfather was the most correct.
大丈夫だよバトラー。
I don't know.
マリアといれば大丈夫。魔女はとても気まぐれで、時に面白半分に人間を殺すかもしれない。
Well, you know.
恐ろしい存在だけれど。
They may kill people every once in a while, you know, everything in moderation, you know.
でもマリアと一緒にいれば絶対に大丈夫。だから
That's
怯
comforting.
えないで。
I somehow doubt that.
ありがとうな。気休めでも嬉しいぞ。
You know, how do we know that even if they solve the epitaph, nobody else is going to die? Because even after all the Twilights ended last time, there were still people that got killed.
Yeah. I mean, well, Natsuki tried to take on Beatrice with a shotgun and then died.
Yep.
Battler went batshit crazy and just ran into the butterflies, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just started.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess. Well, I mean, things have already happened differently, so like, I guess we'll just have to see.
I guess we will.
After Auntie Rosa After Auntie Rosa finished investigating their deaths, she proclaimed that she would seal this room again, chase the rest of us out, stole back the master key she had lent me, and locked the door again. It seemed that George Aniki had been holding the original key to Natsuki's room. She had also collected that. Wait a second. She had all of the master keys in her hand. And if the original key had been... No, don't... No. No. This is... You know what he was saying about Kinzo earlier? Kinzo's up in his study, drinking booze. He doesn't have to worry about locked doors. If we just don't even think about the locked room. Don't even think about it. Just continue with your day. There's no point in trying to solve anything anymore.
Wait a second here. Can we be absolutely sure that the body that was in the incinerator is Kinzo's body? Even though it had the sixth toe, could we be sure that that was him? If he devised this entire plan, then he could have prepared a. That's even what they were saying about people with their faces smashed. They could have prepared a substitute body.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if Kinzo was in charge of all this, we haven't even seen him this entire time. We haven't even found a body, so he could be the mastermind behind all this. If that body, if it was, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Like that he could have orchestrated all of this himself?
Yes.
It is possible. We don't know we don't know 100% with certainty like what his whereabouts
We
are,
haven't
what he was
seen him
doing.
for so long.
We haven't seen him.
Everybody's died, and they haven't showed him. Why have we not seen Kenzo? It's like
it's a good point.
it's like people are saying on Twitter now, hashtag Where's Ruth?
What's that for?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh,
They haven't seen her in 3 months.
is she like having medical stuff,
I
or
don't know, but
she hasn't been showing up to work?
she hasn't shown up to Supreme Court.
Huh?
People are like, "Where's Ruth?"
For 3 months?
2.5, or it's 2.5, I think, at this point.
Oh, I had no idea.
Nobody's seen her.
Can anyone like confirm with her family if she's like alive?
Can we confirm with anybody that Kenzo's still alive?
Hashtag where is Kinzo?
Plot twist: Ruth Bader Ginsburg did it all. She's the killer.
Ginsburg is Kinzo.
No.
That's horrifying. Okay. Alright. And if the original key had been shut up inside that room, wasn't this another locked room? So this is a 4th locked room? Kill me now. Don't you dare do the...
Plot twist: the island is the locked room.
I mean, kind of. There's no way in or off with the tsunami going on. Or,
Sure.
not tsunami. The rain. I can't think of the word. Now that we have been released from our suspicion of those 3, we once again return to the parlor. Typhoon. That's one. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. You and me both, buddy. If only the dead are safe and everyone alive is a wolf, then all that's left is me, Auntie Rosa, Maria, and Genji-san. Only those, grandfather, and that 19th person, the guest who I hadn't even sensed, Beatrice. 13 people had died and 6 were left. With only 6 people, how would the wolves and sheep puzzle end? Even though the puzzle which had 19 people in it had been reduced to a mere 6, I couldn't find any answer. We returned to the parlor. I felt a little anxious that while we were gone, a creepy magic circle or something might have been drawn on the door to the parlor, but thankfully there was none.
ありがとう、源氏さん。ここまでで結構よ。あなたも今日は休んでください。
かしこまりました。これで休ませていただきます。
おい、ローザおばさん、この状況下で源氏さんをたった一人で過ごさせるっていうのかよ。
そうね。とても危険なことだと思うわ。でもならなぜ彼は無事なの？彼は3人が夏日姉さんの部屋へ向かった後、ずっと一人でいた。なのに無事だった。狼と羊のパズルよ。最も弱い立場となる孤立した羊が無事な理由は何？
狼がたまたまいなかったんだろ。
違うわ。それが羊じゃなかったからよ。
源氏さんが狼だって言うのかよ。
彼は一人で厨房にいたそうだけど、それは証明不能よ。南條先生たちの死体を運んだり、ジョージ君たちを殺したりできたのは彼かベアトリーチェだけなのよ。
待てよ。その論法じゃ誰だって。
バトラー様、お気遣いをありがとうございます。
It was me all along.
私は信頼を勝ち得るのは常に
With a
100
single
の
swift
言い訳では
movement,
なく
Genji snags the
一つ
shotgun
の
from
誠実であると
Rosa's
信じ
hand and...
Shoots himself in the face.
Oh, that's so dark.
I can prove it wasn't
信頼を
me.
いただけなくても
That's not gonna prove it wasn't him if he just kills
誠実であり
himself.
たいと思い
It'll only help if there are other murders after that. Then they're like, oh, it wasn't Genji. Couldn't have been.
Oh no, he shouldn't have killed himself.
That's a shame.
Genji shoots himself in the face, and then all of a sudden you hear a blood-curdling scream. Maria's body is exploded. Rosa turns and starts screaming. Maddo's like, I told you so.
I don't even... This is too weird, man. This is getting into like fanfiction territory.
Okay. Fair enough.
なら決まりね。
I'll shoot
あ
you
な
in
た
the
が
face
本
now.
当に無実ならそれは明日やってくる警察が証明してくれるわ。
I love how they're all so keen on waiting for the police.
それまでの間
We know what's gonna
あな
happen.
たをお
Why?
互いから外す
They've
わけに
all
はいかない。
forgotten about Kinzo.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
長年後ろ宮家に仕えてくれたあなたにこんな仕打ちをするのは本当に心苦しいんだけれど
They're like, you're the only one who could have done that.
分かってくだ
What
さい。
about Kinzo?
そして
Yeah.
明日になったらもう一度仲直りさせてください。
What if Kinzo has an evil twin brother?
Yeah.
今日も明日も私は後ろ宮家の使用人であり続けます。ご用がありましたらいつでもお申し付けください。
Maybe there's 5 quintuplet Kinzos.
Gotcha. Yeah,
It's a possibility.
No.
Maybe they're quintessential.
no, they're not. You're not funny. Go home.
I'm sorry.
それでは失礼させていただく。
After hearing all that, there was nothing left to say. Genji-san bowed deeply and left down the hall. And we entered the room. Even though Auntie Rosa... Wow, I was literally going through all of the names of the aunts in my head for some reason while I was saying that. That almost came out as
Auntie Maria.
Nasa Avaza.
Not Ava-san.
I was like, what? Even though Auntie Rosa was still held all of the master keys herself, she began another thorough check of the inside of the parlor. She opened the curtains and checked again to make sure the windows were locked. As I watched, how should I say it? I felt a little turned on. I mean, it didn't matter anymore. If I said anything unnecessary, it would turn into another fight. For a while, I gazed at her from the corridor. I figured I had waited just about long enough and entered the parlor behind her. If she can't trust anyone but the dead, she should just go around killing everyone with the gun she's got in her hands. And then in the end, she'll realize that she herself was the wolf,
Oh no.
and Battler is the spice. And then she can blast through
You're
the
still
head.
not funny.
And then she can blast through the head of the final wolf, and the curtain will close on this insane murder theater. As I felt that bitterly, I returned to the sofa where I had been encamped before, and rudely rested both of my feet on the table. Or was about to, when I found something there and stopped my feet.
なんだこれ。
Nanda kore? Right there, almost as though it was addressed to me, was a Western envelope. It was that envelope from before with the seal of the one-winged
Oh
eagle,
no.
and it was unopened. Whoa, wait. What is this? When, who put it in a place like this? I had been sitting here the whole time until I went with everyone to check the corpses. And there hadn't been anything. And when I returned, it was here.
You know, that letter? Whose envelope is that? That's Kinzo's.
Whose seal is it?
That's Kinzo's.
We saw Kinzo throw the ring out in the first episode.
What if he had another
He
ring?
didn't do it this time.
No, you're right.
So he, for all we know, he still has possession of the ring to seal the wax with.
Yep.
戸締まりに問題はないわ。この部屋は安全よ。
I heard Rosa muttering that. Wait. Wait. Chotomate.
Are you getting chills?
Little bit. We had made sure this room was safe when we exited it. We had checked that the windows were all perfectly locked. And we had locked it. Come back, and the windows were still locked.
The soundtrack is terrifying.
Then, wait. Who had put this letter here, and how? I opened the letter. 2 pieces of stationery came out.
Look up. I got you.
What?
One of the pieces of the stationery says, look up. The second one says, haha, I got you.
The first one says, spell I cup. You know, like those dumb, that stuff you used to do in kindergarten.
The second one says, turn around. She turns around. Immediately, there's a face staring back at her. She screams. The back of the paper says, see? I cup. She pissed herself out of fear.
What?
I'm stupid. Did that make any sense?
Gonna be honest, that was pretty dumb, man. I could not follow that. The first page did not say I cup.
It had a magic circle on it.
It did, in something like blood. If I asked Maria, she'd probably know what it meant. And there was writing on the other page. She keeps reminding them, and they're like, nah. Nah, man. I haven't even thought about it.
Oof.
Very, very soon you'll run flat out of time. The 9th John will start very soon.
Oh my gosh.
There could be no mistake. It was a letter from Beatrice.
ほうバトラそれは
ああ今ここに来たら置いてあった。
どうしたのマリア。バトラ君、その手紙は。
いやここに置いてあったんだ。どうしてだよ。この部屋はちゃんと戸締まりをしていたのに。
Oh no, she's gonna blast him. She's gonna blast him.
I don't like this.
She's gonna blast him.
I don't like this.
Oh shit.
Oh, this is...
マリア、いらっしゃい。
No, 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 no.
No.
She's gonna blast him.
Auntie Rosa closed her eyes just a little, and after silently thinking something, told Maria to come.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, no, 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 no,
Maria
no, no, no,
obeyed
no,
her
no, no,
mother's
no.
words. As she did, something unbelievable happened. Auntie Rosa pointed the barrel of that gun at me.
バトラ君、あなたを狼だと断定するわ。
Talk about a snap judgment. Are you gonna say that the person who finds a corpse is the killer with no evidence? Are you gonna say the person who finds a letter is the person who wrote and placed that letter with no evidence? Come on, girl. Nande?
どうして。
私はこの部屋にたった今帰ってきて、そのテーブルの上に何も
It
ない
was you, Aunt Rosa.
I don't know about that.
そしてマリアがそのテーブルに近づいていないことも知っている。わずかな時間よ。でもこのテーブルに近づき、そして手紙を見つけたと主張するのはあなただけなのよ。
そんなのって。いや めちゃくちゃだ。なんで俺がこんなものを置くんだよ。おいおい、俺は不審なものを見つけて報告しただけだぜ。なんで俺が疑われるんだよ。
あなたにしかその手紙をそこへ置けないからよ。
Oh my god. They have the creepy sound effects going in the background too.
そう、これは自作自演。あなたが懐から封筒を取り出し、たった今見つけたかのように振る舞った。密室の中に魔女が入って手紙を置いていった幻想を作り出すためにね。
Yes.
Baka.
バカ野郎。またそういう考えなのかよ。そんなことで俺まで疑うのかよ。いい加減にしろ。俺は親父たちを殺されてるんだぞ。そんな俺がどうして犯人の片棒を担がなければならないんだよ。
そうね。たとえ莫大なお金がもらえるとしたとしても、そんなことで肉親の命を切り売りできるような悪魔がいるなんて信じたくないわ。でもね、いるかもしれない。
Rosa, you fucker.
言い方が悪いわね。例えばバトラ君にとってルドルフ兄さんたちが親でなかったとしたら。
はあ何を言い出すかと思えば、親父は親父だろうが。確かにキリエさんと血縁はねえが、俺の姉貴も同然のお人だ。そこだけは聞き捨てならねえぞ、この野郎。言
う言うのをや やめなさい。ごめんなさい、言い方が悪かったわね。確かに後宮バトラ君はルドルフ兄さんの子供かもしれない。でもあなた本当にルドルフ兄さんの息子
What are you-
のバトラ君なの？
The fuck are you?
She's finally fucking lost it. She's fucking
We haven't
crazy.
seen you in 6 years.
She
For
is
all you know,
insane.
you could be an imposter.
何をわけのわかんねえこと。俺がバトラーじゃねえんなら誰に見えるってんだよ。
This is so absurd that it's almost funny.
ル
Like,
ドルフ兄さんも含めて私たちは6年ぶりにあなたに再会しているわ。あなたが本当に後宮バトラかなんて誰も証明できないのよ。
I need you to take a DNA test right here in front of me.
あなたは本当は後宮バトラじゃなくて後宮家の財産をうまく騙し取ろうと紛れ込んだ何者かかもしれない。あなた
You're fucking
自分が
insane.
後宮
Look
バ
at
ト
her
ラだ
eyes.
とはっきり証明できる。今この場で。
いい加減にしやがれ。俺は俺だ。後宮バトラーだ。そこまで疑い出した。あんただって本当に後宮ローザなのかよ。自分は自分だ。他の誰でもね。ああ、そうだな。あんたの言う通りだぜ。死体以外で信用できるのは自分だけってわけだ。
Maybe she isn't Ushiromiya Rosa right now. Remember how we were talking about how there's like two
Oh, not this shit
sides
again.
of her?
Not this shit again.
What do you mean not the shit again?
Okay, fine. I don't.
We've been
I don't want to talk about Rosa.
okay. All right. I understand.
そこまで言うなら反論させてもらうぜ。
But still.
I want to punch her in the face right now.
ジョージの兄貴たちが死んでいた。夏代おばさんの部屋にも鍵がかかってた。部屋の鍵はジョージの兄貴が持っていたんだろう。そしてマスターキーを持ってるのは今やローザおばさんだけだぜ。あの部屋に施錠できたのはあんただけじゃねえかよ。俺の推理じゃこうだ。あんたは真犯人と通じ合っていて俺たちの目を盗み5つのマスターキーのうちの1つを
Good
こっそ
Battler.
り貸し出したんだ。
Turn it on her.
そんなことしないわよ。
Why?
Well, he can use the same reasoning. He wouldn't kill his own parents or his family.
ほらここに5つあるわよ。
そんなのは当てになるもんか。あらかじめ取り決めた場所に置かせて回収したかもしれねえじゃねえかよ。
This is just pointing fingers and guns at
そ
each
れに
other.
マスターキーが5個かどうかは疑わしいと言ってたのはあんただぜ。
じゃああなたはその封筒をあなた以外の誰がどうやってそこに置いたというのよ。それが証明できない限りあなたが狼なのよ。
うるせえならあんたこそ証明しろよ。犯人はどうやってジョージの兄貴たちをあの密室で殺したと言うんだよ。どうやって施錠したと言うんだよ。
まったくにもってその通り。夏日の部屋も全く同じだぞ。いつもの通
What's that supposed to
扉も
mean?
窓も
Oh.
り内側から施錠されていた。いかなるイカ様も細工もなく、そして隠された通行手段もなければ隠れる場所もない。夏日自身の鍵はジョージのポケットに入って、あとは5本のマスターキーしかないが、それは全てローザが持っている。ついでに言おう、その客間も同じよ。本来の客間の鍵は使用人室に封印されている。だからマスターキー以外では解錠不能。部屋の密室定義もいつもに同じよ。おいおい、容疑者はもう一人しかいねえぜ。それでもまだかまととぶんのかよ、後ろ宮バトラー
うるせえ。てめえも黙ってろ。
黙るのはあなたの方でしょう。あなた以外にどうやってその手紙を置けたというの。それが証明できない限りあなたは狼なのよ。
俺が疑えるってんならあんただって疑えるぜ。あんたこそ証明してみろ。最初に部屋に入って戸締まりの確認だのを始めたのはローザおばさんじゃねえかよ。そして俺の座っていた場所に再び俺が戻るだろうことを見越し 手紙をそっと置いたんだ。これはあんたの罠だって疑うこともできるんだぜ。
どうして私がそんな罠を。私が狼ならこの銃で問答無用で撃ってるわよ。
In front of Maria?
そんなのじゃ理由にならねえな。マリアの目の前で殺人ができねえから。うまく罠に
That's what I just said.
回りくどいことしてるかもしれねえじゃねえか。マスターキーは全てあんたの手にある。ならここもさっきも全部あんたの仕業じゃねえかよ。言い逃れできるってんなら言い訳を聞かせてみろよ。そうさ、ローザおばさんは最初から怪しいんだよ。なんで親族会議の大人たちが6人殺されたのにローザおばさんだけが例外なんだ。なんでローザおばさんだけがあの礼拝堂にいなかったんだ。一つしか理由がねえよ。ローザおばさんが親父たちをあそこに招いて殺したんだ。くそくそ、それで全部説明がつくじゃねえかよ。ふざけんじゃねえ、ふざけんじゃねえ。わけのわかんねえことを言うんじゃねえ。
Maria takes out a gun.
Starts going to town on both of them.
誰も悪くないの。バトラもママも悪くないの。これは全部魔女がやったんだもん。魔法でやったんだもん。誰も悪くない。
Maria thrust herself in between me and Auntie Rosa, both of us incensed. I was taken aback by Maria's crying voice and returned to my senses. At that instant, I became filled with shame. Tears flowed from my eyes.
そうなんだよ。全部魔女のせいだったんじゃないかよ。鍵がどうこうとかトリックだのアリバイだの全部バカらしかったんだ。魔女の仕業なのに俺たちは同じ人間同士を信じ合うこともできなくてなあ、ローザおばさん。人間の犯人なんて最初からいなかったんだ。全部魔女の仕業だったんだ。だからローザおばさんが犯人のわけがないし、俺やマリアだって、そしてゲンジさんだって他のみんなだって、どうしてこんなこと
They're
に。
not saying Kinzo.
俺はどうして大好きだったローザおばさんとこんなことの怒鳴り合いをしてるんだよ。
Can I see this
優
quick?
しくって
Yeah.
大好きだったおばさんとどうしてこんな罵り合いをしてるんだよ。
Kinzo's still alive, right? Like,
That's what it says.
the fuck?
Who knows?
Did we
man?
just forget about grandfather? What the?
Forget about grandfather as much as they forgot about the epitaph.
What?
Maybe more.
How do you forget about a person? Oh my gosh, what is going on?
This is
な
a
んで
mess.
なんでみんなで疑い合わなくちゃならねえんだよ。おばさんを疑ってなんかいないんだ。誰も疑ってなんかないんだ。全部魔女の仕業だったんだ。ベアトリーチェの仕業だったんだ。全部ベアトリーチェが魔法で行った事件だったんだ。ベアトリーチェ頼むからここに現れてくれよ。そして自分が全てやったと俺たちに告白してくれよ。もうごめんだ。こんな疑り合いはごめんなんだ。だから俺たちを許してくれ、解放してくれ。互いの死を見届け合うまで疑り合わなきゃならない地獄から解放してくれ。俺に優しい親戚たちを、いとこたちを返してくれよ。もう嫌だ、全部嫌だ。お前は確かに実在する。姿を見せてくれよ。ベアトリーチェ。
Does that sound oddly familiar? Does that sound like something Kinzo would say?
Yeah.
Oh, Beatrice!
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Please show up. The study.
Thank the Lord.
私を
This motherfucker right here. Kinzo seemed to have fallen into a doze at some point. He searched for his spectacles and looked at the clock. It was 10 p.m.
あやつの儀式はあってどこまで進んだのか。時間的にはもうだいぶ進んでいなくてはならぬ頃だ。
Kinzo lifted his heavy body from the chair and approached the portrait of the witch that he had gazed at every day.
ベアトリーチェ、もうじきお前の微笑みに再会できる。死んでもいい。お前の微笑みがもう一度見られるならこの命は惜しくない。だから交渉だ。お前にもう一度会わせてくれ。そして愛を誓わせておくれ。私の罪を謝らせておくれ。ああ、
Listen, I feel like we deja vu, like we just heard this from some other character.
I wonder
Maybe
who.
downstairs. That was a good setup
It
to
was.
go right into the scene with Kinzo.
It was perfect.
Ho ho.
Well done. You know what else I'm thinking about? There's a traditional Japanese theater. There's a specific way that actors are supposed to talk or speak and say their lines, like very over dramatized and like very like they explore a lot of range in their voice, so there's a lot of like woo when they're speaking their lines. That kind of reminds me of the way Kinzo talks when he's talking about Beatrice. Like a very that has no significance to the story, but I just thought it was kind of an interesting connection, if it even is one.
だが逃がさん。お前は私のものだ。髪の毛の一本からつま先まで爪の赤すらも私のものなのだ。
To the dirt under your nails?
Yeah.
お前の肉一片までも全て私のもので、その亡骸の虹まで私のものなのだ。
The broth of your corpse is mine.
Hey man, I'm heading to the store to get some corpse broth. You want anything?
I put some beef broth in something I was making yesterday. Now I'm thinking twice about broth.
No more broth for a while. Not after this. That should be the name of this episode.
Broth?
Corpse broth.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You want me to name this episode Corpse Broth? I was thinking about naming it Where's Kinzo?
I feel like corpse broth is a lot more,
Corpse Broth? Alright, what do I name last episode then?
That's a good question. Best girl has an energy shield? I don't know.
Too spoilery.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe corpse broth is a bit spoily too.
No, it doesn't spoil anything.
Yeah, that's true. We figured everyone was gonna die anyway, so.
Yeah.
お前を永遠に私のものにしてやるぞ。
Is this even real right now?
Who knows, man?
二度と逃がすものか。
Kinzo howled in rage, then suddenly fell to his knees as he shook and scraped at the wall. In an instant, he had started sobbing.
Sounds like somebody had too much to drink.
私が言いたいのはこんなことじゃないんだ。ベアトリーチェ、頼む。もう一度会わせてくれ。謝らせてくれる
I
だ
could
けで
just picture him slumped against the wall with a beer bottle in his hand.
Yep.
ベアトリーチェ。
This was us last night, watching the most uninteresting Super Bowl in recent memory. Good lord.
お前が愛しい恋しい。私が間違っていた。お前が微笑んでさえくれれば他には何もいらなかったんだ。私が間違えた。私がそれを間違えて取り返しのつかないことをしてしまった。
Good lord.
その償いに残りの全ての人生を捧げた。お前には見るために私の罪を償うために全て捧げたんだ。
Beatrice appears. Okay, I've heard you. Stabs him in the chest.
頼む。
The end.
私の死の際でもいい。せめてお前
She is
に
definitely gonna show up.
一言
I think so
謝ら
too.
せて。ベアトリーチェ。
Kinzo, when did you turn into Mario?
I was just gonna say, when did you start doing ooh ooh?
Here she comes. I knew it!
As Kinzo shook and cried, behind his small back a butterfly appeared out of nowhere, like a flake of gold leaf, and softly fell down. You fool, Kinzo. Do you think a woman exists who would fall for a man's tears? Well, even if it wouldn't make a human woman fall for you, it might for a woman who is not human. Kinzo, do you remember the board position of our chess game, which we never finished? Kinzo, as though he had suddenly remembered something, approached the chess set. The game he had been playing with Nanjo until yesterday remained there still. He wiped the pieces from the chessboard with a wide sweeping motion, and began to line them up again, one by one. It was the setup for a game in progress.
そうだ。こうだ。私はクイーンを進めた。とても良い妙手だった。お前には少々きつすぎるかもしれん一手だった。お前は駒を見捨てるか見捨てないかに悩み、ずっと悩み。
Kinzo waited, with the opposite seat empty. Surely, very soon, his opponent would appear there, and he would be able to restart this game again.
Okay, I don't think she's gonna appear in front of me.
You fool, Kinzo. You want to apologize? You want to see my face again? You want to make my smile an eternal thing?
Why? Wait, hold on. Why are we speaking in internal monologue here?
That's it. Good point. Another perspective switch.
Can we be sure this is even Beatrice here speaking?
Well, who else would it be?
I don't know, but it's not her voice speaking. Could be leading us on to think that we're Beatrice.
Maybe.
I
mean,
or am I overthinking things again?
I think you're overthinking it.
Okay, forget.
But we'll see. Why can't you say a much simpler word? Even though that is the single element of the world. At that time, Kinzo muttered, "A prayer? An entreaty?" It was probably best to just call it muttering.
お前を愛している。
That's the one. And that's Aishiteru, which is more personal than Daisuke, right?
Yeah.
They were pure words, like something an innocent child would say without any evil intent. You really are a fool, Kinzo. If you ever have the chance to do your life over again, know that those words would never cause a woman to fall for you. Yes, not without a miracle. So this... Just then, Kinzo definitely heard a small knock with a different tempo than those of his servants.
Who is this?
The woman beyond the door didn't answer, but it is a woman beyond the door. The woman beyond the door didn't answer.
How does he know it's a woman? How do we know it's a woman? It can't be Beatrice, because whenever she tried to touch the door, she got freaking scalded.
Well, the handle anyway. I mean, she's just knocking on it.
I guess.
So.
I mean, maybe would the door not have that protection too?
I don't know. I mean, we're getting into the logistics of like magic and stuff now, so.
Okay.
But it's a good point. He's like a little kid. The woman beyond the door answered. On the 9th twilight, the witch revives, and none shall be left alive.
Next time on Umineko, Resurrection. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Haha, we lied. We're here still.
Get wrecked.
Battler could be found in the dining hall. Unable to summon the will to return to the guest house in the middle of this rain, he had wandered half-heartedly around the mansion in search of a random place to sit, and he had stationed himself in the dining hall. He hadn't bothered to lock it. He did think that maybe the Shapeless Murderer or the Golden Witch might come to kill him now that he was isolated, but he was no longer thought about resisting that. On the contrary, he had no intention of locking the culprit with a lock. He wanted that person to come in at him openly from the front. If it was a murderer, he thought he'd ask him to tell about some of those wonderful locked room tricks as a parting souvenir. And if it was a witch, he thought he'd ask her to at least take his life with some wonderful magic. However, ironically, neither of those two came to meet Battler. Battler sat himself on a chair and threw his legs up onto the table, and while listening to the ticking of the clock, he continued to idly await the fate that would surely descend upon him. At that time, someone knocked. Battler realized that he was about to meet his maker.
鍵なんかかかってねえぜ。誰でも入ってきてくれ。そして自己紹介を頼むぜ。人間なら名前を名乗ってくれ。
What should be Kinzo?
ベアトリーチェだってんなら3サイズを教えてくれ。
3 sizes? What? Oh. Wait.
Chest, waist, hips.
Oh.
Or no.
Clothing sizes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
それはこう見えてもちょいと知られたおっぱいソムリエなんだぜ。
源氏でございます。
Close enough.
What are your 3 sizes?
Close enough.
源氏さんか。悪いがあんたのバストのサイズを興味ないな。入ってくれよ。空いてるぜ。
失礼いたします。
Genji-san opened the door and bowed, so Genji-san was the culprit after all, or maybe an accomplice.
That's the funniest moments of
That theory would probably explain most of the tricks.
あんたが俺に引導を渡しに来たのかい。
Genji is not a killer. I guarantee it.
そのようなことはお邪魔なようでしたら失礼いたします。
おいおい、要件も伝えず失礼しますじゃ。かえって気持ち悪いぜ。何の用だよ。最後くらい好きにさせてくれ。
バトラ様は死せる最後のわずかな時間を そのように怠惰に過ごされることをお望みですか？
Those words stung. Of course it wasn't.
今さら何ができるってんだ。俺はいつだって死ぬ準備はできてるぜ。
親方様と同じですが。
Oh, Beatrice.
本当にあなたは親方様の血を色濃く受け継がれている。
I had a weird, dumb, doesn't even make any sense, like fan theory that Kinzo
What?
and Battler are actually like the same person somehow. And there was nothing in particular that sparked it. I just had like a weird premonition earlier on when we were playing this, doing this playthrough, like in episode 1. I don't know.
I'm just screwing with you.
You better be fucking screwing with me.
あの豪傑なじい様が実はいつ死んでもいいと思
Because
う。
if they add time travel to this, I'm not going to be able to handle it.
Kenzo is actually Shannon. Did you know?
So he's best boy and best girl.
Yes.
I
そ
believe
れ
it.
は初耳だぜ。
親方様の人生はいくつかの悲しい出来事の末、すべて食材のためのものとなり果てたのです。
あんたは何を知っているんだ？
ベアトリーチェ様の儀式も第8の晩までをすべて終えました。もうすべてをお話ししてもよいかと思います。
なんだって？
My abandonment to despair was completely blown away. I lowered my feet from the table and listened carefully to hear what kind of words Genji-san would say next.
バトラさん、親方様の書斎へご案内申し上げます。親方様たちに直接お話を聞かれるのが
Oh
よろ
my
しいでしょ
god.
う。
From
じ
them.
い様
From them.
たち。
Not him. Oh, no
それは
way.
一体どういう？
さあ、こちらへ。
Oh, this is the dream team right here.
ご案内申し上げます。バトラさん。
I'm so ready.
After Genji-san told me to follow him, he started to walk down the corridor. I recovered my state of mind completely and went after him. We climbed the big staircase towards the 3rd floor. Genji-san stopped walking halfway. He then turned back and spoke.
バトラ様、これよりバトラ様は理解できぬものを見るでしょう。
脅すなよ。理解できねえもんなら今日嫌になるほど見てるぜ。
見えるものを見えるがままに、聞こえるものを聞こえるがままに受け、なぜも何も何も必要はありません。バトラ様はただ真実を知ることになるでしょう。それをお認めになるか、お信じになるか、あるいは否定されるかも。
Genji-san checked one last time to see whether I was prepared to learn the truth. The 8th twilight had already ended, and on the 9th twilight the witch revives, and none shall be left alive. It meant that Beatrice had already revived, and probably none of us would be allowed to return alive. If I was going to lose my life anyway, I wanted to know the truth in the end. It didn't matter how hard it might be to accept.
ああ、鬼が出ようと魔女が出ようと覚悟はできてるぜ。
本当にあなたは親方様の若き頃にそっくりだ。バトラ様、
It's because they're the same
どう
person.
かご勉学にお励みを。
I'm gonna ask you to stop with that.
あなたは将来必ずや大きな志を持たれるでしょう。そしてその時、足りぬ学力に一生後悔されることがありませんよ。
勉学に勤しめる機会がもらえるならぜひな。
Yeah, if he doesn't die.
Genji-san's silence forced me to consider that resignation of mine more deeply. And we could see the door of grandfather's study, impregnated with a sweet smell.
I don't like that word choice.
From his pocket, Genji-san withdrew a gold key with an elegant design. The master keys had been confiscated by Auntie Rosa, but the key to the study alone he had kept with him.
Nice.
He put it in the keyhole, and it made a heavy clunking sound. Are you ready?
親方様源氏です
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
バトラー様を
I'm ready
お
for
連
them
れ
to
いたし
pull
ま
away
した
from this scene the moment we go through the door.
There was no reply, but it seemed that permission to go in had been given. You know this too well.
Am I wrong?
どうぞ
入るぜ。
I readied myself and threw the door open.
And Rosa and Maria.
You thought. You thought.
I did think.
At that moment, I got slightly disoriented by the dazzling golden glow. It was somehow a swarm of butterflies shining gold. The golden butterflies that were completely filling the inside of the study poured out all at once.
なんだこりゃ。
It was almost like golden leaf confetti. The interior of grandfather's study was filled with golden glow. And there were reception sofas and a table for guests placed in the front of the study desk. And I could see grandfather's back. There was someone on the opposite side from grandfather. And it was in shadow, so I couldn't see it well.
親方様バトラー様をお連れしました
バトラーか。今思考が忙しい。しばし沈黙せよ。
Kinzo declared that in displeasure his back still turned. It seemed that he was enjoying playing chess with a visitor.
I wonder who the visitor.
Apparently, the opponent had counterattacked with a superb move. Kinzo seemed to be enjoying himself as he thought deeply, while occasionally laughing and groaning.
30年考えこの一手をどう切り返すか楽しめ。30年を寝かせた我が一手を楽しめ。
誠にこの一手は味わい深き熟成された一手。楽しい楽しい。
That is absolutely horrifying. Don't do that. Please don't do
か
that.
なわぬかなわぬ。
Good lord.
なんだってんだ。
来たかバトラ。しばらく待とう。金蔵のためにまだリザインは早いぞ。わらわならもう数手は切り返せる。
It should have been my first meeting with that witch. However, I knew this witch. Even though it was our first meeting, I knew her from the portrait.
源氏バトラのために飲み物を振る舞え。この男によりふさわしきやつは何か。
若き日より親方様が愛されて
それが良いぞ。振る舞ってやれ。よくぞ来たな。後ろ宮バトラ。まずは座れ。そなたはわらわの名を何度も呼んだな。それに免じ、わらわとの面会を許した。そしてお前は何を尋ねるのか。黄金鏡の扉はもうじき開かれる。魔女たちを迎え入れてのわらわの復活を祝う宴はもうじきだぞ。それまでの間、お前の問いにいくらでも答えてやろう。
聞きてえことは山ほどある。この島で何が起こった。そしてどうしてこんな事件が起こった。密室についても聞きたい。礼拝堂は、ジェシカの部屋は、シオニッサ、夏代おばさんの部屋は、そして客場は。聞きたいことはまだまだある。魔女の正体は本当にベアトリーチは魔女なのか。何が目的だ。俺たちに何をさせたい。俺をなぜここへ呼んだんだ。答えろ全てだ。
かわしい。問えば答えは変えるのか。
そういうな金蔵。もろく儚い雲の巣もヘロデの王から守ってくれることもある。この世に無駄なものなどないように無駄な質問も待たない。よいよい。すべての質問に答えようぞ。ただし条件が一つだけ。
You have to play another episode.
You have to believe in me.
すべてを聞き、わらわの存在に納得できたならひざまずき。わらわの
Back
靴
to
に
that
キスをする。
classic.
お前を屈服させたくて わらわはここへ呼びつけたのだから。わらわと金蔵は賭けをした。金蔵が次の手をひらめくのと、わらわがそなたを屈服させるのと、どちらが早いかだ。負ける気はせぬぞ。
でけえ口を叩きやがって。ああ、いいぜ。俺を納得させてみろよ。お前が間違いなく魔女様だ。不思議で素敵な大魔法を使えるってことを屈服したならキスでも何でもくれてやれ。
The witch cackled gloatingly. Then she glared at him unpleasantly with eyes that said a man can't go back on his word.
よくぞ言ったさて、どの問いから答えようか。すべて答えるぞ。さあ、まずは何からだ。
And the witch began to tell everything. She started providing answers to all Battler's questions. Everyone made logical sense. Everyone satisfied him. Battler was forced to admit witches truly did exist.
This is wrong. This is wrong. This is another perspective thing.
The rest is a story that need not be told. After toppling the king and residing, all that remains is to reflect upon one's moves and set the pieces up once more.
This is literally her writing her own history. This is not what actually happened. If they really wanted to show us or tell us what happened, they would have done it. That way we can interpret it.
Second game of Turn of the Golden Witch result. Ushima Kratz died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to Golden Land sacrifice. Ushima Natsui died on the center of twilight, chosen by Golden Key and sacrifice. Ushima died on the first twilight, chosen by the key with sacrifice. Ushima the first twilight, key and sacrifice. Ushima Rhoda, the first twilight, chosen by key and sacrifice. Kire died on the first twilight, chosen by key to Golden Land sacrifice. Ushima Jessica died on the second twilight, back pierced by the stake of Amadeus. Service Cannon died on the second twilight, chest pierced by the stake of Satan.
That's Asmodeus.
Asmodeus.
Not Amadeus. She was
Servant Shannon died on the fourth twilight, forehead gouged by the stake of Manon. Servant Goda died on the fifth twilight, chest gouged by the stake of Beelzebub. Ushima George died on the sixth twilight, stomach gouged by the stake of Lucifer. Attending physician Nadra died on the seventh twilight, knee gouged by the stake of Belphegor. Servant Kumasawa died on the eighth twilight, leg gouged by the stake of Leviathan. The witch Beatrice revived on the ninth twilight. She would finally open the door to the Golden Land. Ushima Kinza missing on the ninth twilight. Except the witch prostrated himself and invited to the Golden Land. Ushima Rosa missing on the tenth twilight. Denied the existence of the witch, was not invited. Maria, except the witch prostrated herself, invited. Genji was invited too. Battler, missing on the 10th twilight. Will he accept the witch? And will he be invited to the Golden Land? The witch shall praise the wise and grant 4 treasures to the Golden Land. They are chosen to revive the souls of the dead and the love they possessed. Because of what they desired could not be gained for a mountain of gold, no matter how high. For Kinzo, his lost the loved one. For Maria, the lost love of her mother. For Genji, a peaceful sleep.
It's so weird. They keep
Rest in peace, Beatrice. May your slumber never be disturbed again.
They keep messing up the tense. Like, Kinzo submitted, so-and-so submitted.
The Windsor is Golden Witch Beatrice. Since of the 18 on the solid riddle in the golden time, all 18 died when the seagulls cried and none were left alive. It says she won.
Yeah, but it asked, will Battler accept her existence? Not that he did.
Umineko no Raku Koro ni were under the witch and reasoning.
It's no good.
It's no goddamn
It's
good.
no goddamn good at all, John.
It's no goddamn good at all.
Not at all. Not one bit. Music's good.
Alright. This after credit scene is like 30 minutes. I don't know if you want to do it now. We can do it next time if you want. It's up to you. I don't know how.
Let's cut it there.
Let's cut it here?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll cut it here. And we'll, next time we'll pick up with this. And we'll do the tea party.
Yeah.
And then question mark.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. I'm glad that we stuck around for that though.
Yeah. It was, would have been kind of awkward to start back up next time, just see the credits right away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, well, that was Umineko, and next time on Dragon Ball Z, find out who killed who.
Find out which one is going to get revived by the giant dragon.
Oh, Beatrice.